With the Toronto Maple Leafs recently moving Timothy Liljegren, a lot of people are rightfully so now pointing to Nick Robertson, as he is probably going to be on the move soon. Now, I don't know if you guys saw him get asked by the media, and again, it's Toronto media, so you know they're always going to do what Toronto media does, and they kind of poked him a little bit. Essentially, they know he's not happy getting scratched. I mean, in the offseason, the guy literally asked for a trade. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, he's going to ask for, I mean, he's not going to be happy with getting scratched. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Nick Robertson, I am not a fan. You can look in the history of my videos. I actually thought that at the end of preseason, they should have traded him. I thought it was the smartest decision for them. I really did. I thought that he had peak value at that point. I think we've seen what we call preseason warriors a lot. And what I mean by preseason warrior is somebody that obviously is good in the preseason but can't really put it together in the regular season. And we know, at least now, Robertson can perform to some degree in the regular season. That's obviously true. A lot of people will point to the fact that he has, 20 goals and only 10 minutes of ice time. But what he struggles with more than anything is consistency. He's just not a very consistent player, right? Where he goes these long spurts without scoring, and he doesn't really, I mean, he's actually been okay defensively, not a bad player. But Elliot Friedman has been touching on the fact that the Colorado Avalanche are looking for a young, skilled forward in the 32 Thoughts article and podcast. So this actually makes a lot of sense that maybe they might trade Robertson to the Avalanche. Now, I'm not sure what the Maple Leafs would get back. You know, I've been a proponent of keeping him unless you can get fair value back. This is the difficulty that I have with this. If you don't get fair value back, it becomes a little bit of a struggle, right? I was saying, like, listen, the point that I said at the end of preseason is we should have traded him there simply because his value was at the high. Actually, Sam McKee, who I don't know if you guys watched the Leafs Talk podcast, he actually I think he was the one that tweeted it out, I think. Anyways, he was bang on. I said it too. I said that exact same thing as him. I'm like, this is the time to trade him. Like, do you really think that Nick Robertson is this good? A lot of players have been good in preseason, and now we have possibly a perfect opportunity to trade him again. I mean, think about it this way. If you can get rid of Timothy Liljegren, then why can't you get rid of Nick Robertson? That's the way I'm thinking about it. I mean, I honestly, like, listen, when it comes to the Timothy Liljegren trade, I thought that they weren't be able to get anything. Like, I thought they were going to get a bag. I thought they were going to have to pay to get rid of him. So you might actually be able to get something for a young player that has been a bit, I guess, from his side of the debate, you know, displaced a little bit. Maybe he hasn't gotten a fair shake, quote unquote. You know, at the end of the day, though, if players were that good, they would play more minutes. You know what I mean? Like, if they were really, really good, they would just play more minutes, okay? So it's obviously on Robertson to prove that he can play at the NHL level. As soon as he starts to play against NHL talent, he forgets that, you know, he's just not that good. He gets shut down much easier. So anyways, as you can clearly see, I'm not a huge fan of his. I'm a big fan of Matthew Nyes, but I'm not a fan of Nick Robertson. So this actually does make a lot of sense. Now, I think it has sailed that the Leafs could get a second-round pick for Robertson. I honestly don't even think they could have gotten a second-round pick even after he had that really good preseason. I'm not sure. But man, what I would have done if I was a general manager is I would have had him have that preseason, and then I would have held him out of the lineup or tried to keep him out of the lineup so he wouldn't, you know, go back to his normal self during the regular season. And then hopefully some team can give me a second round pick for him or something like that. Essentially pump up his value. That's what the Leafs should have done there. And unfortunately, they did not do that. And it is really unfortunate, guys. Like, they had a perfect, in my opinion, they had a perfect opportunity to trade Nick Robertson, and they did not take it. And it's infuriating because I'm telling you, my friends, he is not a horrible player, seems like a nice guy. And again, maybe he'll prove me wrong. Like I said on my Timothy Liljegren breakdown of Timothy Liljegren, I said it right there. Maybe he'll play 24 minutes a night. Maybe he'll all of a sudden be an elite player. I mean, you can jump in the comments. If you disagree with me, please. I have no problem with any comments. If you disagree with me, roast me. I don't care. But at the end of the day, like, do you see any more from Timothy Liljegren than what he is? I mean, could he turn into Anton Strawman? Of course he could, absolutely. But it is so weird how sometimes players just don't find success in Toronto, and it even comes to playoff success. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Zach Hyman. He really wasn't that good in Toronto in the playoffs, like at all. If you look at his statistics in the playoffs in Toronto, he was not that good. But he goes to Edmonton, and the guy's unstoppable. Like, what the hell is that? At the end of the day, maybe he does, Nick Robertson that is, maybe he does honestly just need a fresh start. You know what I mean? Like, there is an argument to be said there that maybe he just needs a fresh start. Maybe he just needs a new team to go to. I would actually like to see him in Colorado because I don't. He's going to have to earn the opportunity to play with a guy like a McKinnon and a Rantanen. But like, can you imagine he could play on that lineup? Like, how can you not score points if he could play with those guys? But I mean, he would have to earn the right to play. He's not just going to come in the lineup and take somebody's spot. But that might actually make sense. And again, Elliot Friedman touching on the fact the Colorado Avalanche want to see a young, skilled forward. Not many of them available right now. We have a disgruntled one. It might make sense. I was touching on the fact that it absolutely makes sense for Timothy Liljegren to go to the San Jose Sharks, or I said Utah as well. And it does make sense for him to go, but the Utah made a trade for another defenseman, and then obviously San Jose Sharks eventually went ahead and got Timothy Liljegren, which again, that was like a perfect fit. He's going to be able to play a lot of minutes. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him, but I'm telling you right now, Nick Robertson is absolutely going to be the next to go. He's already getting scratched by his coach, and let's be real, he hasn't even been that good. He's gotten I think he's gotten 1 point this season, 1 goal, and obviously, surprise, surprise, he scores the goal in an absolutely meaningless game. That's just classic Robertson. Anyways, I am going to leave the video there. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Tell me why I'm wrong and tell me why I'm right as well, guys. Appreciate that, and have a good one. Goodbye.